Welcome back to the Listen Up podcast, where we analyze a new album each week. I'm Jamie, and this week we've got me, Nick,
what up,
and Jordan.
What is up?
This week we're going to be taking a look at Yes Lawd by Anderson Paak and Knxwledge under the collective title of No Worries, released in 2016, and it was picked by Nick.
Yes, it was.
So if you want to share a little bit more about kind of why you chose it.
Oh, of course. So, I think I just kind of rediscovered it the other week. I've always liked Anderson Paak a lot, as you know. Jamie, I don't know if Jordan necessarily.
No. I knew.
Okay, I got you.
Kind of.
I like him enough to where one of our other friends bought me a small poster of him for Christmas one year. It was very nice of him. It's in eyesight right now in my room. I can see it. I really enjoyed the first album I ever found of his was Malibu, which I think is the album that kind of put him on the scene. I don't know. I can't remember if it won a Grammy. I know it was nominated. I know he was nominated for Best New Artist for it. But it came out the same year as this album. And pretty sure it came out before. I don't exactly know. I just know they're both listed in 2016 on Spotify. But I probably like Malibu a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I like that direction that he goes in Malibu, more of the R&B and singing.
Mm-hmm.
And I do enjoy his rapping too, and there's a good mix of it on this album, which is one reason I wanted to pick this album to because I felt like he was really versatile on this album.
I gotcha.
But his two newest albums, Oxnard and Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
Oxnard is more of like a rapping hip hop album, and Ventura is more of an R&B album.
Yeah. And
they're both like really good. I know Dr. Dre had a large influence on the production of Oxnard.
That's cool.
And yeah. And they're pretty good friends. I know they work together a fair amount. Mm-hmm. Whenever he's recording his stuff, Anderson Paak, because I could be wrong, but I remember hearing in an interview that Anderson Paak was the most featured artist on Dr. Dre's, I think it was 2015 album called Compton.
Gotcha.
And that kind of like kicked off like a friendship and partnership between them. So now whenever Anderson Paak works on stuff, he usually gets Dr. Dre to help him out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
That's some
it's
rap royalty right there.
Yeah, it's a good name a good reference to have on your resume for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Especially the fact that, he's liked so much that he was like the most featured or whatever you said.
Yeah.
But mm-hmm. That's impressive, because that's a large like selection of people.
Yeah.
To be chosen from.
Yeah. And in the Spotify notes for the biggest song off of Oxnard, I was listening through Oxnard the other day, and the song's called Tints. It was the lead single. It has Kendrick Lamar on it. Mm-hmm. It was saying that they met on when they recorded a song with Dr. Dre for Compton, and that like kind of kicked off a friendship between them and stuff too.
Nice.
They don't collaborate like as much as Anderson Paak and Dr. Dre.
Like with Dre.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I just I like his attitude, but also like I feel like there's a good mix of emotions in like everything he puts out. Like there's a range that I like a lot. A range in his lyrics, in the topics he covers, in the style that he either sings or raps, and I feel like he can shift up between like he doesn't really have like any like hard rap or like harder stuff. but like he can switch up between like being really confident in his tone and being really sensitive and stuff. And I like that a lot.
That's true. I mean, that was also, that was on display in this album for sure. That was kind of some of the things I noticed listening to it.
Real quick, wasn't he on the 2016 Freshman Cypher? Do you know?
I don't know much about that XXL stuff, but I know you follow it pretty good.
Yeah, I know he was on one of the ciphers. Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
I only know XXX's feature on
it.
Yeah. He was on the 2016 XXL cipher with it was Designer, Lil Dicky, and Anderson Paak all freestyle rapping.
Okay.
Which sadly was the less people say that the 2016 the other one with I think it's Uzi, Denzel Curry, Kodak Black, 21 Savage, and Lil Yachty. That's like the most famous XXL freestyle in history. So it's kind of sad this one gets overshadowed. But
gotcha.
He's wearing some cool clothes in it though. So
he's got that drip.
He does have a cool style.
He does, and all of his like social media pictures that I've seen, he always looks like super styling
and profiling.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't really have, much experience with his. Like, I know I'm hearing, just through sheer osmosis. Like, being in the same apartment with you in sophomore year, I heard him that way, but I never really, sat down and listened to his stuff. So it was nice to hear, kind of, because it was mostly him doing the lyricism, and like you said Knxwledge is the guy. He's like the beat maker, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that was also pretty good on this album.
Yeah, I didn't do like a ton of research into like the production of every track, but I know that Knxwledge is a producer, and every solo effort he comes out with is just beats.
I got you.
It just makes sense that he's the producer.
Right. Is it kind of like Kenny Beats a little bit?
Yeah. He doesn't come out with a lot of collaborations. Like this is.
Oh, okay.
This is like the only like collaboration where his name is like listed alongside the artist that I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Alongside the like the singer rapper. But and I don't really know like if people use beats that if he like just produces other rap albums and his name isn't like attached in the title. But he very well could do that because I've listened to like 2 or 3 of his solo albums and EPs of beats, and they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I liked a lot of the ones on this one.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones is we'll get into that later, but I think Suede's beat is really like unconventional. It sounds so like not stuttery, but it feels like it wouldn't work, but I feel like the flow of the song is really cool.
Yeah, I'd say that from what I can remember. I didn't like mark it down, but I think I can place like what you're talking about. Yeah, Jordan. So, had you had much experience with Anderson Paak in the past, Jordan?
No. The only thing I knew is that he was kind of, like I said, I only saw him in the XXL cipher because I've after getting into rap, I tried to go back and watch a lot of those, like just seeing kind of. It's usually for rappers who are just up and coming like that year,
right?
And so I kind of go back and look at like where they were now and where they are,
where they like landed,
where they were then and where they are now, and see how much they've kind of grown. Like even just as like a celebrity, like a lot of them have a bigger fan base than they did back then. And that's why honestly a lot of those people turn out to be pretty big artists. So that's why I'm following the ciphers every year now, because like that's pretty much what got me into like Blueface, Rico Nasty. Even like it was literally a year ago, like Megan Thee Stallion and DaBaby were on there, and they've blown up like so much this year. Just DaBaby with his albums and Megan Thee Stallion with her like virality of all her songs. So they do a pretty good job of like I'm not saying they're like underground when they find them. Obviously they have like a pretty good like following, but as far as like future endeavors go, they have a pretty good track record of finding artists that consistently put out and make good stuff. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, I meant to go back and listen to the Tierra Whack like portion of that XXL that you were talking about, because you said she like raps and like doesn't have any music, right?
Yeah, I actually went back and watched it right after that last week's podcast after I mentioned it, and it was still pretty good. It was still kind of like, it's still kind of like weird,
yeah,
because the rap is like, it's so, and sorry, I don't want to get too off topic, but it's so it's just, she's literally like, you can tell she's thinking about the raps as she's like saying it. It's kind of crazy, but yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I'm not sure if she's British or not. That's kind of random, but I've been watching a show on HBO, and I've heard like 2 or 3 of her songs in the show, and the show's British, and they use a lot of like British hip hop in the show, and it just makes me curious to think if she's British. She might be.
I kind of like British rap some, but
it's interesting. I feel like there's a barrier at first, because the first time you hear it, you're like, okay, this is kind of different. But like, I know a dude named Jay Prince. Big Shaq. But Jay,
yeah,
I've heard some of Jay Prince.
Jay Prince and Little Sims, they're pretty good.
Dang.
Little Sims?
Yeah.
Sims.
Also, Skepta. Skepta's probably the biggest name out of there. He did a remix with Pop Smoke on his "Welcome to the Party," so
gotcha.
He has a remix with them.
Is he the guy who's featured on "Praise the Lord"? That A$AP Rocky song?
Oh gosh, I honestly don't know. Let me see real quick.
I know that song from memes, but it's also just a good song.
Oh yeah, it is him. It is him.
We can't forget about the A$AP Forever remix though.
Gang.
Fire. But anyways, back to our
the matter at hand.
The boy of this week, Anderson Paak, and Knxwledge. Can't forget Knxwledge.
That's true. Yeah. All right. I guess we can go ahead and get on into it. Yeah. So we'll just start off with any of our like really stuff you like, specifically stuff you like. Or do we?
I heard you say a couple seconds ago. You said something about simp, Jamie. The song, this album came out in 2016, and there's a line in the chorus of Suede where he says, "Look me in the eyes, there'll be no simping." So he was early on the simp slang.
Early dog. Belle Delphine, who?
Yeah, I can't think of that line, but that's actually pretty funny. I didn't realize. I don't know why that didn't stand out to me more. I feel like I should have that.
I didn't know what he said for a long time listening to it, and then I read the lyrics probably like a year or two ago, and I was like, what is this word? What? And then and then whenever simp got big on the internet over like the last few months, whenever I heard this song again, I was like, oh shit, like, wow, like apparently this has been a word for a while, but people just didn't say it until now.
Yeah, well, it probably was in some sort of like communities, and it just hadn't made it to the mainstream vernacular yet.
Yeah, but while we're talking about Suede, I feel like it has. So I like a lot of the humor in this album. Mm-hmm. Like there's a Rick and Morty sample.
Yep.
Where more.
Yeah, I thought I heard that.
But that's not in.
Is that a Rick?
Yeah, that's not in Suede, but Suede has so many lines. Suede is one of the most like
it's the most wordy, or not necessarily wordy, but like verse oriented.
Yeah,
like unique phrases. Because that was a note that I'd made, is like most of this album, a lot of it's like verbal hooks and then the beats, and then I like the skits that are thrown in there with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is kind of like, to me, I thought it's like a jam band meets R&B kind of.
I can see that.
Yeah, like he has verbal like hooks that are kind of used like riffs are, but then there's also this kind of like progression of music throughout the entire thing, and not a whole lot of like unique verse lines. Thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the funniest skits are the Rick and Morty sample. That was just really funny when I heard it because I was
What song was that again? Sorry.
It's one of the like the interlude songs. I think it's called "Can't Stop," but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's at the end of that one.
I got you. And then at the beginning of Jody, there's some skit where he asks his girlfriend to make him a bologna and cheese sandwich. And that was like...
Yeah, because he talks about, like, mayonnaise or something.
Yeah, you can tell that, like, at least I think, like, the girl's voice sounds like a guy doing a girl's voice.
I sounded like him talking to himself, kind of.
Yeah.
Wait, is it? It is him, right?
I could very well see it. I didn't know if it was someone else, another guy's voice, but it just sounds like a guy, and I was like,
oh, it says according to this Genius annotation, it's Knowledge plays the male voice, and Paak is altering his voice to do the male part.
Gotcha.
That is pretty funny.
But yeah, Suede is, the first time I heard, well, I don't know if it was the first time or if it was the most significant time, I guess, but he does it. It's the last song that he does in this Tiny Desk concert. That do you guys know what those are?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, NPR.
I'm a fan.
Okay.
I still haven't listened to one. Like, it just seems so like. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go into it, but it seems uninteresting from the beginning, like from the outside. But I feel like it would be.
It's super fun. Neat. I would if you want to start out, I would recommend starting with Chances. That one's pretty good.
It is good.
Yeah, you sent me another one, Jamie. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm sorry.
Mac Miller's is good, and Anderson Paak's is good too. At the end of it, he asks, like, most people do. Like, I think, like, the basic Tiny Desk template is, like, 3 songs. And 3 or 4. And at the end of Anderson Paak's third song, he yells out, like, do you guys have any requests? And someone yells, like, above everyone else, Suede. And, like, that song is, like, a sampled beat. It's not, like a live band song. But he has, like, his live band there. And... And like I think they've played it live before because but they don't play it a lot because he says something to them about like you guys know the chords, it's just a loop, it's not hard, but like we got to know the chords, and they were like yeah, and he played it, but like whenever someone yelled that out, he laughed and he was like, you guys like being called bitches in here? because the main hook of the song, like the first line of the chorus is, if I call you a bitch, it's because you're my bitch. And as long as no one else calls you a bitch, then there won't be no problem. And, yeah. And so, like, it was very amusing that, like, he confronted the vibe of the room. Mm-hmm. He was like, you guys want me to sing this song? Like, okay, I'll sing it. But he looks like he has like a really good time with it. It's really funny when he sings it.
Anytime I've ever seen a picture of him, he's always smiling.
Yeah, he's got his huge teeth out.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Anthony Fantano, they like go back and forth like a little bit about having like the best teeth. They say like because Fantano's thing for a long time was saying, like, best teeth in the game. And then Anderson Paak said it when he was on Jimmy Fallon, I think. He said, like, he had the best teeth in the game. And then Fantano made some, like, dumb fake beef video, like, about it. And he was like, I have the best teeth in the game.
That's pretty funny.
Fantano's pretty funny.
But yeah. That I think that song is kind of a standout because I've seen it in his Tiny Desk, but also like I feel like that's one of the most confident songs on the record. Like, and it's not entirely like disrespectful, like, but also a fair amount of it is.
Mm-hmm.
But but there's like we were talking about, there's a good balance on the record. Like what are some songs where he shows his more sensitive side? Like Starlight is a good song where he shows his more sensitive side, like talking to, it sounds like he's like talking to a girl at a party and like talking about how they've known each other for a while, and like how he like admires like how she's like changed and stuff.
Yeah, there's one I think it's Get Bigger that's kind of not,
it's
I don't necessarily
kind of about
think
his come up and stuff.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like I mean, it's fairly introspective, yeah, talking about it, and then he's like talks about you and me have to get bigger, because earlier on it's like he talks about how he's working up, and then he's like, you know, doing whatever he can to survive, but then he, like, on his break, I wrote a song about the love of my life, stuff like that. And then later on, you know, the hook is you and me have to get bigger. You and me have to get bigger. And later on, overall, through the whole other thing, it's like kind of going back and forth. There's like strife in that relationship, and then she like cheated on him or something. Yeah, and then he said, as I get bigger. And then that was the hook. And it was like talking about there has to be mutual growth. She said music or me at one point in it. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. That was a good one that kind of exemplified that.
Yeah, Nick, if I can talk about just like the album as a whole real quick.
Yeah.
I honestly, his voice wasn't really what I expected, if I'm
really
honest. It's a lot there's a lot kind of oh my gosh, I cannot speak right now. I don't know what I was expecting, but I got a lot of like higher pitched singing than I thought I was gonna get. And a lot more like mellow music than I thought. I honestly have no idea. I have a bad habit of when people say rap, I just think like aggressiveness. Yeah, and I know I like most, and that's because that's the kind of music I like. You know, it's not really because. I think it just reflects the kind of music that I like to listen to in rap. So when someone says rap, I'm like, oh, great. Let me listen to this really aggressive song that I like. And then it's like I've listened to a lot of songs that aren't like that, but then I'm like, okay, this is still rap. You know, this is still, or even like I know it's a varying definition and people can go out of that too. But I was expecting, I don't know, I was expecting a lot more closer to what I listen to. But again, that's just my bias. But I enjoyed it, and the beats were nice too. You know, again, nothing too like aggressive. I'd say I don't know if you disagree with me with that, because I know you said he's like, I don't know if confidence goes along with necessarily aggression.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was not what I expected. I'm not gonna lie, it's not what I expected.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like there aren't really any aggressive beats on the album. The most like, I don't know, it's not aggressive. I feel like Suede's beat is one of the most in your face, maybe, or I don't know. I just feel like the way
it's a good song.
Yeah, I feel like the way it starts out, like the swell of, I don't even know what instrument it is, but just it's. I don't know. I feel like it's the most in your face, and the lyrics of the song help it. The most in your face, like aggressive-ish song, aggressive adjacent, we'll say. But But one song I've really loved off of this album for a long time, and I think I really like the beat on it, and I like the lyrics too, but the beat is just so different. That's why I like it a lot. Is What More Can I Say? The one that like the beat is basically just like violin, and like a loop of violin. I've loved that song for a long time, and and I could see why people wouldn't like it, because the beat is very different. But I have that in like my playlists that are like I have like a, I don't know, like my favorite rap songs playlist, or just like my favorite songs in general playlist, like that song is in there. I've just liked it for a long time.
Gotcha. It's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't like when they put. I love when they mix classical instruments with beats. It just sounds so good.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've never understood any criticism of it. I love it.
Like, have you ever listened to those? It blew up. You know, I listened to it before it blew up, but it's this thing called Audiomack on YouTube, and I don't know if you've ever heard the song "Ballin'," or it's like that piano that sounds really really good at the beginning, and it's basically a cover of Roddy Rich's song "Ballin'," but it's called Trap Symphony, and they literally just do covers. I think they did I think Melly did one of Murder on My Mind. Chief Keef did Love Sosa. I'm pretty sure G Herbo's done some, and Trippie Redd's done some. There's probably more, but they just take like a song that they've sang and play the notes in like pretty much either a piano or a guitar or any other instruments, like actual instruments instead of like synthesized music or any like computer generated stuff, and it sounds so good. It sounds so good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love whenever they either do not. It's not like a remix. It's like a cover, but with real music, or not real music. What am I saying? Real music, real instruments, and like they perform it live. But
we got Ben Shapiro
I really
on
like
the podcast.
Instruments and songs. What?
I said we have Ben Shapiro on the podcast.
Actually, just hypothetically speaking,
he came out a few months ago and said like rap wasn't real music and stuff.
Let me just give him a swift uppercut.
That reminds me of it was a skit that Skrillex had, and it's a quote I assume from somewhere, but he says it's some like older sounding guy, and he says like this isn't real music because no one's playing a guitar or something like that.
Oh my gosh, I know. I have a very different taste than people who, and again, I don't dislike like songs that are made with like instruments, but so many people have a problem with, you know, like beat making or like, and I don't want to say a lot of people because there's a lot of people who like it, like millions and millions of people, hundreds of millions. But I remember growing up, people would be like, "Oh, why don't you like this song?" It's like, oh, there's no like actual music, like not like actual instruments in it. And like I guess that's a good criticism, or an okay criticism. I don't know. I don't really agree, but you know,
like I wouldn't even. It's my opinion that it's not even really a great criticism because you still have to people still add, like, even when you sample, you usually add like drum beats and stuff over it. So that's you're not hitting a drum with a stick, but like you're placing those sounds in an order that is appealing to someone, and it takes talent to find a sample of something that sounds good on loop that someone can make music over, like a different style of music, because samples a lot of times don't come from like other beats, they come from like actual music. And then I guess the loop I guess the loop maybe is the periodic nature of it is what allows like rapping to happen over the beat. But like there definitely is still artistry involved in it, because people make beats all the time that sound like garbage, and then you hear you hear something like new or different, or just something that's like right down the middle like alley of what you like, and you're like, hey, this is cool, and it was all made on a MacBook.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, yeah. I'm trying to get into producers too. Try to like actually listen to their stuff, but
yeah.
It's kind of like being into like a director's movies.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know a bunch of rap producers besides like Knxwledge and Kenny Beats.
Yeah.
And like those are really the two that I like look for, and I can't think of many. I'm sure there's like a couple more, but that I can't think off the top of my head.
the thing that's actually like making them more popular, I think, is they're putting taglines at the beginning now.
Yeah.
So that's like when you hear like mustard on the beat, or it's like mustard on the beat. I put the, or it's like oh my gosh, it's like Pia, you want to come out here? I don't listen to that much, but oh my gosh, isn't there one before Father Stretch My Hands? I can't remember. No, it's probably not.
Yeah, isn't it? God, what is it? It's Metro Boomin. It's if
is it
Metro don't trust you?
Yes. That's and see, it's so recognizable, isn't it? Because you hear it before like every song. Now that they're starting to put taglines in there, I think it's actually a good thing because their music's more because before you'd hear a beat and you're like, I don't care, I just like who sings it,
Yeah.
But now that they're putting taglines, I think that's overall better. But okay.
Yeah, I know a big country producer that I like is Dave Cobb, and he works with a lot of Americana and like alt country artists.
Music.
He sure does. He might be working on Dawes' next album, Jamie. So might have to give it a listen. For the listeners, Dawes is a California alt rock kind of. I don't know. They've changed their sound a little bit, but it's a band that I loved for a long time.
Aww.
All right. Back to Anderson Paak.
Yeah. I was about to say. I know.
I love him too. We have to stand.
Yeah.
We have to get back to the topical stand.
Oh, here, Jamie.
A big note I had was I really like the change up of the beat between Wings and Best One.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. It's like it starts with Wings, it's kind of like dying down, and then Best One just starts in with like booming bass and a nice rhythm to it. I like that a lot. It's pretty cool.
Best
I was
One.
gonna say I didn't. Oh wait, sorry, Nick.
Best One has some hilarious lines in it. Like
that was pretty funny.
The first verse, the first line of the first two lines. You love me like you know I could be leaving in a moment's notice. First three lines again. You telling me to stay until the morning. You know it inward homeless. That was pretty darn funny. And actually he was, I don't know how long he was homeless, but he was homeless making music for a little bit because like at least on Genius it said he was fired from his job at a weed farm. But I've heard him talk about that in like an interview or two, being homeless for like a short stint and still like he had music prepared, like trying to release. He was just like trying to get it out there. And I think at the time he had, I don't know if he was married, but he definitely had a longtime girlfriend, either that or his wife, because he's married now and he has 2 kids. But,
aww.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
But also, in the third verse of the song, you with me, but you knew that I could do it by my lonely. You fix it inward cheese grits and cornbread. You know it inward hungry. That just like cheese grits and cornbread sounds amazing.
It does, except for the cornbread. I don't know.
You're not a big cornbread guy?
I don't know. It's hit or miss for me.
I got you. But Best One is one of, I don't know if it's one of my favorite. I really enjoy a lot of the songs on this album, and this is one of the ones that I really enjoy. I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but I do enjoy listening to it a lot.
Yeah,
I got you. I was gonna say, I try to look at the title sometimes, and I was like, HAN. Wonder what that stands for. I'm just listening. I'm like, oh, stands for hating ass inward.
I thought it was OS.
Yeah.
What? Oh wait, whoops. I meant
that one's really funny.
Yeah.
I misremembered it when I looked at the analogy, but yeah, I kind of like that song. It's kind of funny. Yeah, Jamie said, it's kind of funny.
I thought that was a pretty cool juxtaposition at the end
Yeah, the whole analogy at the end. Yeah,
the final skit. Yeah, it's like the whole like, I guess in Genius it's called the outro, but it's just the end of it. It's basically like talking about, he's like someone giving a sermon, talking about like, yeah, you may be unaware, but even at this moment you could be standing next to one. And then it was funny when he said, Deacon, go ahead and pray for him, lay hands on him, actually. Like, it's like, you put your hands on, someone from the church would put hands on like someone's shoulder and then pray for them. And then it like, he's like, come here, you bitch ass. And then it like, it sounds like there's a fight in the background. Yeah. And so I thought that whole thing was actually, it was pretty funny.
Yep.
The comparison they were going through the entire way.
Right, I can't believe I forgot to bring that up when we were talking about the humor earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it really was. It was a pretty good mix, because there's a lot of songs, but some of them are like, 1 minute interludes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is something I haven't really listened to, because I haven't listened to a lot of albums like that since like Stankonia by Outkast. That's like a big one that comes to mind.
I'm a Jackson. Did they have like skits in those?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they were like called, like basically there were some of them called like interludes is the title of them, but yeah, like Kim and Cookie, that one's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them used to do on like I know Kanye's Late Registration and College Dropout, I'm pretty sure has like skits on it, and then Chance tried to recreate that in The Big Day. It might have been like,
didn't that one bomb?
The best songs on it? Yeah, it did. Which is kind of sad, but dude, I remember how hyped I was. I was like, "New Chance music," and they came out. I was like, "Oh God, honey."
Oh, Chance, no. Oh God.
No, but he does do it, and they're like, I mean, they're not like, they're kind of funny. Like, they're not good or bad in how I would say, but he tried to like bring it back, and I guess if the album was better, it would have been.
Yeah, because I mean, it was a it definitely died off. That was a earlier 2000s.
Yeah.
Imagine rapping about loving your wife for 20 songs.
I know, dude. I know. Oh,
trying to be John Legend, but not hitting the mark.
The skits on Late Registration are really good with like the drill sergeant and stuff. Mm-hmm. They're really funny.
Or the ones on the College Dropout's really good too. It's like I honestly don't remember the ones from Late Registration too much, but the ones, because I listened to the College Dropout more, but the ones on College Dropout, it was like, oh, your dad died and he left you all his diplomas. Oh, great. You can do so much stuff with that. Good thing he didn't like teach you anything else and just left his diplomas for you. And then there's like another one where it's like after you graduate, it's like, oh, you have all this knowledge, but like, it's basically saying like, I mean, his album's called The College Dropout, so it's like a critical view perspective of college in a way, but not saying a college diploma isn't necessary, because in our field I think it is in a lot of ways, but basing your whole like existence and importance on a college diploma, I think that's more of like what the
criticism is about.
Was.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
which is valid for definitely for there's there's a lot of stuff it's not needed for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Dang, engineering makes you have to actually learn math, though.
Bruh, I know. I hate this.
I wish someone could have told me this was going to be hard.
Bruh, x squared equals y squared, bruh.
Get out of here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to see if I don't think I had any other specific notes. We've kind of hit everything that I was going to talk about.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I didn't talk again. It's hard for me to like dissect these songs. I don't know what it is, but you know how after you listen, like even if I listen to the album a couple times, it's comparing with like albums that I picked that I've listened to like a lot, right. You know, so it's easier for me to like break it down.
Yeah, well, you gotta, at least for me, how I find it, like I'll listen to it 3 to 4 times, and then there'll at least one time I'll just listen to it and be like, all right, all I'm doing is listening to this right now. And then kind of like, because I guess it's not going to be this album, but I've got a few albums where it's very much like you have to hear like the lyrics to really get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the music's
advanced too.
There's some where it's just like, it hinges on the crux of its beauty is in the lyricism.
Yeah, my ritual is to listen to it a few times the
You
week.
see the future.
A few times the week before it comes out, and then the day before we record, I sit down and play it out of my TV through my PS4, and and just take notes on I don't take notes on each individual song, but on highlight songs I'll take notes, and I'll just note down things that I enjoy and things like that, and then I always listen to it on the way back to my place on the day that we record.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to what I'll do.
Yeah.
Do either of you have any more specific aspects you want to talk about?
A little note I liked in the song "Livin'." I feel like you can hear his vocal chops pretty good in that song, because there's two times where the beat doesn't completely drop out, but a couple instruments drop out, and he sings over one instrument, and he just shows off his range. I like that. And also you can hear kind of a choir sing behind him. I thought
Mm-hmm.
Jordan might enjoy those gospel influences, since he likes early Kanye a lot.
No, yeah, I did.
There was that. I think I had one more thing.
I kind of forgot about it, TBH.
I guess.
But when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, this sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I did as well a good note taking this time around. I'm sorry for that.
Oh, I really like the beat of "Scared Money." I feel like it was very glamorous. It's a very synth heavy beat.
Yeah.
I didn't know that "Scared Money" was a betting term, and I just learned that when I was reading about the lyrics. I don't know anything about gambling, but yeah. I also,
Gotcha.
we don't have to talk about it a whole lot, but I feel like This is one of the most explicitly sexual songs that I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was just straight up describing sex the entire time.
but the beat's pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe 50, a third to 50% of the time, whenever it comes on and it gets to the chorus, I'm like, I don't think I can do this right now, and I just skip it. But especially if I'm with other people, I'm like, nah, this is weird. But
wait, which song was it again?
It's called
Like This.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one straight up is just oh, okay, so this is where we're going with this.
Oh my gosh.
But
yeah.
I don't think it was interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm gonna say that "Scared Money." I just listened to it again, and it sounded like there was a sample in it, and I just looked it up, and the sample sounds really familiar, but I don't really know where I would have heard the song.
Oh, really?
You know, it's like the dun dun dun.
Yeah. It sounds kind of like 80s music.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard this song. I definitely have heard this. I just don't know where.
Yeah,
but
I had the same thing listening to it. I was just and it really hit me. I was walking Leo earlier this morning and was listening to it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's right on the edge of what I can remember. I'm like, I know it's in there somewhere.
No, I know. I just heard it again. And I was like, wait a minute. What sample are you?
Yeah. Also, exactly. Jordan, I know you like remixes. There's a whole album of remixes to a lot of the songs on this album.
I actually saw that. It says Yes Law remixes.
Yeah.
I looked down because I was gonna ask you last week. I was like, are we listening to the remix version? But it's like a beat remix, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I usually like voice remixes better.
Gotcha.
But
yeah, I listened to it, and I don't know if it's because I've listened to this album for so long and I didn't like it because it was different, or I think probably a fair amount of the beats I just didn't like them as much as the officially released version. But
no, I got you.
But I was just letting you know since I knew you were a remix.
Okay.
Guy.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, if you guys don't, that's all my specific stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm done. Also,
that's all I got.
I
okay, so I guess we'll talk
0.
about general.
Oh, wait, sorry, Jamie.
How dare you cut me off?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right. So we'll start with just kind of like overalls, and I don't, either of y'all can go first, and then I'll go last and announce next.
Reveal the album.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, you can go first.
All right. Well, I like how different songs show different sides of him. We talked about that earlier, the versatility. Starlight shows a good soft side and a more romantic side. Side Piece and What More Can I Say are kind of like the lyrics are conflicted, it seems like, because he talks about wanting to stay with like his main girlfriend, but also like there's all these other women that are attractive to him that he's thinking about pursuing, basically.
Yeah.
I like the conflicted nature. I like that in basically any medium. And Suede and Scared Money show the confident nature too. And I like the portrayal of a wide range of emotion, because I feel like that's how most people are, I guess. And that's why
right.
Yeah. That's why I enjoy that in TV shows, movies, and music that I listen to and watch, because it feels more authentic, maybe, I guess. But also I enjoy music that
mm-hmm.
just hypes you up, and like you were talking about earlier, Jordan, stuff that's aggressive. If you want something of that genre, you can seek it out. But when I'm in the mood to just experience something, I really enjoy the range, and I felt like that was pretty present in this album, which I don't see entirely a lot in hip hop. I guess I don't listen to as much hip hop as I do other stuff, hip hop and rap and R&B, but I just enjoyed the range in this.
I got you.
So rating, I'll probably give it. I'll give it a 8 out of 10.
Did you say a number?
Oh yeah. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I guess it cut out.
Yeah, it's super cut out. Dang, it had been good.
Yeah, no, it had been good.
Last episode, it didn't happen at all. All right. So 8
Oh.
out of 10. Got it.
So again, I told you it wasn't what I was expecting, which could go good or bad.
Which one is it?
Sadly, it went more towards the best. Just because, I don't know, I wish I was not biased in listening to music. Like, I wish I could just surrender that. But I just love, like, hard-hitting stuff. And again, this is not me saying it's not good. This is just me saying, like, it's not what I prefer, you know? So if it was, like, what I preferred, I'd probably give it a 0. I'd probably give a lot of albums a 0. But again, I try to listen to like what it actually is and how it's kind of like a mixture of both, you know? Mm-hmm. Like how I feel about it when I listen to it again, how it is. For that reason, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
I just wanted a 5.
What?
I said I just wanted a 5.
You don't get a 5, okay?
I wanted just an album that Jamie or I picked. I wanted you to give it at least something higher than a 4. I don't think you have yet. I don't know.
I haven't. I don't think you guys have given one of my albums higher.
That's also true.
Yeah.
you like hypocrite.
Technically, this is tied with Turn Blue for the highest rating he's given an album that's not his so far.
Okay,
that's true.
I was gonna say I thought Turn Blue was the other highest one.
I don't think any of us have given each other's albums like, okay, Nick and Jamie, you guys are kind of on the same wavelength a little bit more, but as far as like me versus you guys, yeah. I think 4 has been the highest because it's like we don't want to say it's 5 because that means it's like okay, but we're like
yeah, I've got the spreadsheet pulled up right here. It's yeah. I mean, I could run more trend data, but me and Nick are normally pretty average on whenever we choose the Jordans are like the low points.
I thought this was a chance to
Me
get
too.
that highest rating. I
thought this would be. I thought this. Well, I mean, it still
Dude,
might.
it was a little too vibey.
I got you.
Nick. It was a little too vibey. And also, okay, yeah. Last thing. Like kind of like Tyler the Creator said at his last. I think it was the Grammys where like Igor was technically like a rap album, but he didn't like want it to be a rap album. I feel like it's kind of like this too. Like you could definitely not classify this as rap, in my opinion, right? Or do you agree with me?
It's like R&B.
Yeah.
Ish.
I don't know. When I think of rap, I just think more like, I don't know. I'm putting too many labels on things and like thinking about it. That might be where some of my not frustration, but like analysis comes from. Which maybe I shouldn't do that or should. I don't really know.
I would say it's a mixture of rap and R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
You're right. I'm just comparing in my head. Honestly, that's probably what it is. You could call it whatever you want, honestly, but sorry.
You're too head ass.
I know, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was nice and vibey. It reminded me a lot of "Awaken My Love." Yeah. Kind of, there were some mental comparisons in there, which I enjoy. I give it a 7. A nice 7 out of 10. Which brings us to a 6.33.
All right.
Dang, is that the highest?
No. That's the okay. If two of them are tied, is that first and second, or is that just tied for first?
No, that's tied for first.
Thank you, rational people. Okay, so then this is the third highest.
Is there some people who don't agree with that?
Yeah, there are people who say that like it'd be first and second are tied, and then third is what I think should be second. Huh. Yeah, it's anarchy.
No, that's messed up.
Yeah,
that's wiggity whacked up.
Can't trust people out here. Yeah. Okay, so then it is third. Currently, Turn Blue and Mechanical Bull are tied for first. And then Being So Normal is second, and then this is now third.
Cool.
Although, Jordan, your picks are not the lowest so far.
Really?
Is Willie the lowest?
Wait, never mind. They are the lowest.
I was about to say. I was like,
they're the lowest, but not by much. Willie is barely above. Barely above Meet the Woo. Yeah, the lowest was Dirtbag.
How are you gonna put the Woo on the bottom?
No, Dirtbag's on the bottom.
Almost bottom.
It's on the second bottom.
How are you gonna put Blueface on the bottom? He said, put a hole in an inward, call that a bagel.
That's true. That was very fun.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, alright, so then I will announce next week's album, which is going to be How To Friend Love Freefall by Rainbow Kitten Surprise.
How to? Oh, I've actually been wanting to listen to them before.
This is a good album. And it actually, okay, so it's probably, I would say like indie, it's definitely indie. I would probably say like indie rock kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's also got, like, there's one where he straight up raps in it.
Really?
Yeah, but the singer, his style is like, some of it's a little spoken, like melodically spoken, and then some of them, like, when it lands, he straight up raps in it, and it's really good. Yeah, they're a band I've liked for a couple years. They're from Boone, actually, in North Carolina.
Thank you.
So that's cool. Yeah, I like their stuff. They've got a few really good stuff. Probably the biggest ones that they've had were Cocaine Jesus. And,
yeah, I've heard that one.
Hey Pretty Mama was the one that got like huge. That one I saw like I think that was how I discovered them. But yeah, they're good. So we're gonna listen to that one. I'm excited. I was gonna do a different album, but I was listening to a daily mix of mine today, and then I heard one of the songs off of this album and listened to the actual album, and I was like, okay, you know what? Never mind. It's summertime. This fits the mood more.
I got you.
So yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited to hear, to force some other people to listen to RKS.
I've always heard him been hyped up. I've just never gotten around to listening.
Yeah, well,
to them before.
Now you'll have to.
So. Oh, thank you, James.
maybe sometime we'll do RTJ Force. You're forced to listen to that one too.
RTJ.
I actually, dude, I really want to listen to it soon. I have to I have to listen to it soon.
All right, we'll see what the landscape is 3 weeks from now. Maybe I'll choose it. Who knows?
No, I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe, but I also just like want to listen to it. You know,
recommend it.
It's so hard though.
Quite yummy.
Yummy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I've been listening to this week, I listened to that today. Just still, man, just catching up on my backlog of podcasts. Like it's, yeah. I mean, I listened to some other stuff. I listened to some Jason Isbell, some Peach Pit. Still, I don't know. It's just kind of summertime. I'm listening to that vibe of music.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The band My Morning Jacket. They're kind of like a psychedelic country rock band almost.
What's the song of theirs? It's like 9 minutes long because I really like that one.
the main album I've listened to of theirs is The Waterfall, and I don't think it has a 9-minute song on it, but
no, it's like the cover. It's the bear one. It's the bear.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I only know like 2 or 3 songs off that album, and I don't know a 9-minute one. But yeah, they're
we believe you though, James.
they're a cool like modern day jam band, and they released an album, The Waterfall 2, last Friday, and all the songs were recorded at the same time they recorded their previous album, just called The Waterfall, and
it's I Will Sing You Songs.
Okay, I've heard of that song. I just haven't listened to it.
I like that one.
But yeah, The Waterfall 2, it's good psychedelic. A lot of the songs are chill, some are more upbeat, but it's pretty good. I basically rediscovered Gary Clark Jr. this week, and over the past 2 or 3 days, I've listened to almost every song he's put out. He's really good.
Nice.
Dang.
I haven't listened to his newest album yet. I was trying to listen to it from like the beginning up, and I forgot how good his live albums were. Both his live albums are like awesome. He's like a blues rock guy.
Mm-hmm. He's putting out some really good stuff.
Yeah, he's a guitar wizard.
Plays an SG.
Is he like Glizzard Wizard and the Gizzard Wizard?
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
And the Lizard Wizard.
He's much better than
that. I would say I would say much better, but Dylan might disagree.
I don't listen to either,
but and then also do you guys know who I could murder this pronunciation, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Toro y Moi. It's Toro space Y space MOI. And I think it's like Toro E like Spanish and then Moi like French, I think.
I don't think so. I don't think I know him.
He's like he makes like alternative music and stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't know any of his discography.
I got you. But his newer 2 albums are more like alt hip hop stuff, and before that he did some kind of psychedelic stuff, and I don't know what chill wave is, but I saw that in some description of something. But he put out an album in, I think it was 2015, just called What For. One of the songs was on a playlist I was listening to the other day, and I was like, oh, I'll check this album out. And I really enjoyed the album. It was cool. So nice. I'll probably be checking him out over the next week.
I got you. As far as what I've been listening to, I went back and listened to Pop Smoke's first album, Meet the Woo.
Yes, sir.
I had not listened to it, I don't think. I think I had listened to like one or two songs, but I wanted to listen to all of it again. I could listen to it over and over again. And then also someone coming out of New York drill scene is, I think I've talked about it before, his name's 5-0 Foreign or 5-0 Foreign. His pronunciation teeters a little bit depending on how fast you want to say it or something. But I've been trying to listen to his music to fill that void in my heart. Try to listen to more New York drill because I really like that. And he's another person who was emerging. He had like a song with Pop Smoke, and I think I saw on his Instagram. I follow him on Instagram now too. He said there's like a song that he made with him that's coming out on like the deluxe album of Pop Smoke's recent album. So we'll see. And then another song I listened to was I sometimes go on YouTube for song recommendations. And do you guys know who Rod Wave is?
No.
I don't think so.
He's more of like, he's not like he's definitely not like a Christian rapper, but he's kind of like Chance, where he's like very religious. And apparently he was in like a really bad car accident recently, like where he almost like died.
Oh dang! And
the song was called "Through the Wire." It had no samples or anything, but then I like looked on his Instagram because like you hear "Through the Wire" and you're like, there's got to be a reference there somewhere, you know?
Well, right, because that's what happened to Kanye, and he made that song after being in a car wreck in the ICU.
Okay, I'm glad you knew the reference, because I saw it. That's what I thought the reference is, and then I just went to go like make sure, you know. I'm like, I'm not tripping, am I? Like, this is definitely what he's referencing here,
right?
And it was.
Yeah, because
I'm proud of you, Jamie, and probably Nick. You probably got that too.
No,
yeah, because he was Kanye. He was. That album was supposed to like set to come out, but they needed to like finish it up or whatever. And it's cited by people in the industry as like how dedicated Kanye is to like his work ethic. He was in a horrific car accident, almost died. His jaw was wired shut, and he still made that song and put it on the record.
What song was it?
Yeah, Through the Wire.
It's Through the Wire.
Gotcha.
Hey, wait, have you ever like heard that song, or do you like know its significance at all?
No.
Dude, you should. It's that is a good song.
What,
if you
what
listen to
album
a
is
good song.
It's
The College Dropout.
Yeah, it's if you listen to
it. Oh yeah, I've heard
like,
that song.
You listen to it and then you go,
yeah.
Oh, he was doing that with his mouth like opening like a quarter of an inch or whatever.
Yeah,
it's so impressive.
Yeah, I haven't listened to The College Dropout in a long time, but I have listened through the whole album.
Yeah,
and that's one of the biggest songs
off of it.
Yeah,
it is. And that's why I like knew the reference. I was like, oh, he's definitely talking about the car crash thing, which I thought it was cool that he named it that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Through the Wire, so good. And then I listen to the live version sometimes of Through the Wire too, where it has like an actual harp playing in the back. Oh my gosh, dude, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, that's it. That's all I was listening to this week.
All right, I guess we'll take her home then. I wanted to say thanks for listening this week, and remember to tune in next week where we'll take a look at How to Friend Love Freefall by Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Make sure to check it out, give it a listen so you can kind of have your own thoughts and be join in the discussion a little bit. You can feel free to either leave a comment about your thoughts on this week's album or just the episode in general on YouTube, or you can tweet them at us at ListenUpPod. And that account, as well as our personal handles, will be in the description of wherever you found this podcast. Well, for now, though, we'll catch you next week, and remember to listen up.